Oh boy, being a YouTuber nowadays is not easy. What used to be maybe a side hustle can turn into a full-time job really fast. If you do it right, of course. And like every other business, with great money come great investments, which help to keep your channel alive. But that leaves us with a problem. How can you compete with someone like Linus Tech Tips when you're lacking the resources to buy microphones, cameras and editing software? How expensive is it to make a solid YouTube video? Well, let's find out, right after you hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video where we are going to find out how much money you can expect to pay for making awesome YouTube videos. When first starting out with a YouTube channel, there's typically two mistakes that every new YouTuber makes. First, buying the wrong things, and two, not utilizing the things you already have. Let's talk about these two mistakes. Well, on YouTube and general video or movie productions, there is a straight line that you need to follow. The first and most important step is audio, and this is something that a lot of people get wrong. You can spend hours and hours editing a video. If it doesn't have good audio, then no one will stay and watch it. That being said though, what even is good audio? Good audio does not mean expensive microphones. It means a natural sounding voice, without any major background noises that have an impact on the experience. For most people, a typical USB condenser microphone like the Blue Yeti X will get the job done quite nicely, but it doesn't have to be that expensive. I'm currently using a €50 microphone, and this is somewhat around the area that you can expect to pay for a microphone. But why €50 or dollars? Well, cheap microphones tend to have several issues. One of the biggest problems is bass noise. You know, that fussing in the background. It also does not sound that natural, either because bad build quality and therefore it's picking up more vibrations, or just simply the parts inside are not as high quality. You know, some microphones don't even feature this little net inside, which helps against pop sounds. I've made a whole video about on how you can make a microphone like this sound exactly the same like more expensive ones. But there's only so much you can do in a professional space. But here's the thing. You don't need the same expensive gear to make your videos sound good. Except of course, you have several different rooms, scenes, or you want to mix it with outdoor recordings. You just need the right gear in a controlled environment. And the cheap €50 microphone will get the job done. Let's move on to my second tip, lighting. So if you're watching this video, then I guess that you own a smartphone as well as a laptop or a desktop PC. Since otherwise you're probably not really interested in being a YouTuber anyway. Many people who want to be content creators make the same fatal and very expensive mistake. They put too much focus on buying a camera. Yeah, sure, a camera with a good lens produces a better image in darker scenarios. But why get a better camera when you can get some lights to compensate for that? Just use your phone and get some better lighting. I used to make my cameras with two ring lights that cost me around €24 each. But you can get even lower prices than that if you look hard enough. I'm leaving some links in the video description below. The trick with these cheaper lights is that you need to put them closer to your face. These two videos use the same ring lights, and yet they look vastly different because the lights are close to my face on the right side. That's also what I meant by utilizing your gear wrong. You don't need expensive gear when you use cheaper things in the right way. Big channels only have such expensive gear because they have less ideal environments. Every video has several angles, places and crop ins, and this is why they need expensive and bright lights. They need to place them further away because they need to be more flexible, but we don't. Alright, step number 3 would be upgrading our camera, but I already said that if you have a solid phone, then you don't need one. And there are actually some really awesome features packed into your camera that you can use to tweak your image quality. Open up your camera and look for a Pro mode. Sometimes it's hidden when you swipe to the left, sometimes it's in a menu on the screen. But trust me, it's there. The Pro mode gives you way more control over your image and features many of the most important settings that you would find on a professional camera as well. In here you can adjust the white balance, focus, ISO and even the exposure and shutter speed. Some phones even have some adjustments for the saturation if your camera lacks colors. Watch some camera setup tutorials and try to mimic those settings on your phone. And with the right lighting situation, then you already have a really solid looking video on your hands. And all of that for under 100 euros. You can get even cheaper if you only buy one ring light. And yeah, that's basically it. Like I said before, if you're watching this video, then you either own a smartphone or a PC, laptop, whatever. And if you do, then you already have a solid device for video editing as well. There are many different solutions like DaVinci Resolve or KDE Live that cost nothing. And as long as you don't do high resolution video editing in 1440p, 4K or above, then you really don't need a beefy PC. And what you currently have is probably enough. What about Photoshop for thumbnails? Just use GIMP, it's entirely free. As I said before, for your first videos you don't need to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars just to get a solid video. And once you get some views and feel confident that you need an upgrade, then follow the movie production steps. After that you can get a cheap desk, get some IKEA decorations, invest in some 80 euro softboxes, and so on. But at this point, you're not really a beginner anymore. So go ahead and remember to follow the steps. Get a microphone for good audio quality, get better lights to improve your lighting. After that, get a camera if you really need one. And after that, just buy some decorations or other stuff. I mean, it worked for this video, and I'm currently holding my microphone. I've stacked up my phone on some boxes and I'm using no lights at all. Maybe it takes a bit more effort to set up, but at least it doesn't cost anything, right? And that's where I'll leave it. So if you've liked this video, then make sure to show it with a like and even subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Make also sure to check out this video. You won't regret it. And all that's left to say now is good morning, good afternoon or good evening wherever you are. I'll see you around.